Hi, I'm Laura Taylor, the Director of Communications for the City of Bonita Springs. Tonight, we are at a public workshop promoting our new website project. We've had surveys from our public, we've also been at the council meeting with staff, and we just want to make sure that you have the opportunity to participate in this exciting project with us as it moves forward. For more information, you can visit the city website, www.cityofbonitasprings.org. We're going to start our public workshop for our new website design. Council did authorize an update to our city website, and we put an RFP out after we did 8 months of research. We worked with our Technology Advisory Board to help us craft the RFP. That went out, and we had quite a few responses. We did select the Civic Live team that you'll hear from today, but I'm going to let Jose, our IT manager, talk to you a little bit more.
So the design phase of the project included surveys that we sent over to our residents and also employees and our technology advisory board. With that information, we kind of compiled that, and the team that we selected is actually going to design the website as far as based off of those specs. We're having this meeting to kind of figure out how we're going to design it as far as residents and on that whole spec. So without further ado, I'll leave it to Derek and Karen.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so just some brief introductions. So as mentioned already, my name is Derek Mann, so I'll be the business analyst on this project. So just basically backing Kara, making sure that the project gets off to the right foot. As Kara, obviously, I'll let you introduce yourself. So she'll be the project manager going forward for that. We really have 4 key phases here that we split out our project into. One's envisioning, so that's what we're in right now. So requirements gathering, getting information, as Jose mentioned, from the public, and then using our best practice to sort of influence the avenue of this project. And then we move into implementation. That's really the fun stuff. So that's where we're going to hash out all designs. That's where we're going to work on developing our content and reworking the page structure of the actual new website. And we do some content migration during that phase as well. And then we move into stabilization. So that's when we come back down on site and actually train your whole staff up on the CMS. Get you guys up to date, deliver all documentation, go through sort of last minute checks and balances, UAT, and then we move in to deployment and eventually deploy that website. So why us? Just briefly, we've been in the e-government business in terms of websites, developing websites for about 15 years, so we do have a lot of experience. Just even split between the both of us, we have about 9 years experience in that field, so you're definitely in good hands. So again, the reason really why we were hired is not only as a CMS company or a design company, but also as a sort of a consultant, so implementation, delivering best practice and things like that, just making sure to guide you folks to make those right decisions. I mentioned best practice, so a few key areas where we're going to have some influence here is redeveloping that information architecture, so the overall hierarchy of the pages that exist on your website. And, oh, okay, perfect. Okay. We can take that out in editing, right? Okay, awesome. Oh. And then certainly encourage more citizen engagement through the actual website platform as well. So there's not too much happening right now, so we'd like to encourage more of that through things like surveys, polls, citizen feedback, citizen request systems, different things like that. Just getting more engagement from your overall community. We're also in the process of looking at doing some payment processing with individual platforms, so integrating that into the website as well. And then certainly an improvement in content. As we are developing a website for 2018 now, we want to make sure that we're sort of consolidating that content and making sure that we stick to best practice, not only in terms of accessibility, but also mobile as well. And then moving into what I think is the most fun is the actual design part, which we've actually had a lot of discussion on today, and we're moving forward on what we call the homepage wireframe. So we're starting to develop that now. So yeah, requirements gathering. It was already mentioned that obviously we have today's meeting. So gathering some citizen feedback via surveys, certainly workshops, which we're currently in now. And then we're going to use data to help influence any decisions that we're going to make going forward for the new website. A couple tools to do that. One is heat mapping. So this basically gives us some data, some analytics as to where folks are clicking on the website. More importantly, really to gather that data for the homepage. And then also analytics. So actually getting page hit data, demographic data, annual visit data, that type of data, and that's going to certainly help us make some of the harder decisions as to what content comes over, what doesn't, and certainly how we approach the information architecture and ultimately design as well. All right, so there's some Civic Live web examples. I think we'll bring those up in a couple minutes, which is great. So we'll skip over that. I'll open it up to any questions.
What kind of feedback did you get from your surveys, and what kind of citizen input other than us?
Thanks.
We had about 110 people respond to our surveys. We are still going through that data right now. One of the things that we are hearing is that they would like to have a search function to be able to type in questions and it be easily accessible on the homepage, kind of like Google. So we've been exploring that option as a possibility. We also had different comments on layouts and designs and the way things look. Today, what else did we talk about? We talked about the Google function and images. Images are big, making sure there's a lot more images. The homepage is clean, not crowding the homepage too much.
Yeah. A lot of different avenues to access the same kind of content. So not only just going through your traditional department structure, but using things like quick links, different avenues, certainly the search bar, and different navigational tools that way to sort of increase the speed as to how you would access the information you're looking for ultimately.
Well, because the links you have now pretty well. Drop downs. They're pretty easy to find.
Right. Yeah, but there's certainly other avenues that we can build upon than just providing that, certainly. And then from survey results, we certainly polled folks now, but that's something that we want to revisit and look at after we go live as well, too, to get some good data and some good information about the website that we ultimately build as well. Yeah.
Do you intend to be able to have access to all city documents that would be available under Public Records Act?
We are still exploring how far back the archives go, but anything that's mandated that we still have record of, I believe it's 7 years back, we will still have those on the website, and we will have access to archives to make sure that people can look up what documents and videos that they would like to.
Yeah. Any other questions? Oh, go ahead.
You talked about civic engagement, and what were some of the strategies that you guys have to regularly distribute event information or recurring things like city council meetings, stuff like that, so that people can, often things like Facebook are really effective by creating event pages so that people can sign up and see the subscription and how things play out. So do you guys have something in mind to do that so it's easy to keep track of things that are going on?
Yeah, great question. So all that's already built into our CMS. So we have a news module engine along with a calendar feed to publicize some of those things, and the benefit there, which is different from what you guys currently have, is that users can now subscribe to those things via email and via RSS to get those updates automatically. Also, something that's in scope is that you'll get a mobile app as well, so you get push notifications for those types of things. And then we also, I mentioned that we have the ability to create polls and surveys within our content management system to be able to post online. So that's another way that we can start getting some feedback on some key areas. And then we also provide a citizen request system, which allows the citizens to report, a pothole, or report flooding, or street light out, or graffiti, whatever that might be. It's a really robust tool that has also a counterpart of a mobile application. So yeah, those are just a variety of ways that we can, certainly increase citizen engagement from what you guys currently have, and then certainly open to creating any custom applications outside of that as well.
That sounds great. I love the idea of the mobile app, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, perfect. Great.
Okay, so what we do want to ask you to do, if you don't have any questions at this time, is to fill out a survey, because it helps us to make sure that we're getting more surveys. And then if you would like to, you can take a look at some of the websites that they've done. We have comment cards, and give us some input on what you think might work for the city website's design as we move forward.